much?
Yeah, actually, it's been a long journey. I've started somewhere back in 2002, and I've started as a junior artist. So it's been a long journey. When I started as a junior artist, of course, it was a struggle. I had to, work a lot. I had to work with, day and night and stuff. But then I moved on. I got some good acting projects. Knowing my confidence, seeing my confidence, I've got good hosting projects as an MC. So that was a kind of a break which I got, and I got that through my boss at work. So he said that, okay, I want you to host the show. So then I hosted the show, assisted few directors, producers, got into the production and direction too. Done few events for the university while I was studying. So that's how it comes to that's how the event management thing started. And
when you say you hosted a show,
yeah.
Your boss asked you to host a show.
Yeah.
What are you meaning on that?
Well, what happened is that I used to work for an event management company. It was a marketing company and had an event management department, and I used to work in that department. So I always show interest in like in the office itself. Like since I was acting and all that, so I play around and stuff. So one day my boss said that, okay, I have a big event coming up, and I want you to host that. So I thought he's just like kind of a joking based, hosting a show, and I was like, are you serious? And he said, yeah. So I went there, and to my shock, it was like 3,000 people, and I was like, oh my God, 3,000 people, and I'm on the stage, and I was very nervous. But then I don't know how I managed that, but then it turned out to be very good for me, and it changed the whole world for me. So yeah, hosting is something I do because I do a lot of interviews for celebrities. I've done an interview for Duran. That was something big, I consider. I've done an interview with Bob Sinclair, Ferry Costin, Boney M, Shaggy. So it's a huge list. And then I'm just talking about the Hollywood side. But then a lot of artists on the Bollywood side, like India and then Pakistan, I worked with. So it's a huge list. So that's say a lot about my hosting thing,
So when you were on stage and seeing those 3,000 people, and you were nervous, obviously, as many people would be, especially if you hadn't been prepped for it or didn't really understand how big it was. But you obviously then got the bug for it. You obviously enjoyed it. At the end, when you came off stage, you obviously had that buzz.
Indeed. 3,000 people can make anyone nervous. It's not easy to manage a crowd of 3,000 people, and you're on stage, and then and for me it's the first time, and I've never done hosting. I've done before that I've done a couple of public speaking events, but that's more onto the my studies side. But when I've gone on stage, when I saw the actual crowd, when the lights gone on them, I was literally nervous, and I was like, and I was kept talking to myself in my mind that I have to entertain them, and if I don't entertain them, they're going to throw me out, and this will be my first and last project. But then it turned out to be very, very good. I had a lot of fun. People had a lot of fun, and that changed the whole world for me, because then I realized one of my talent, I can actually do that.
So we'll talk about how you channeled that enthusiasm, that adrenaline rush, if you will, into creating what you now have today in a few moments' time. You picked out a story from 7 Days this morning, and it's talking about cabbies in the capital.
Yes, it's quite surprising. I mean, to see they're getting another 2,000 cab drivers, and knowing that currently there are 8,000 cab drivers. So it's a huge number of taxis in the capital, and it's a good sign too. It shows that the tourism has increased in Abu Dhabi. Consider like if you consider the past times, like a couple of years, 3 years back, I don't think that there was too much of tourism, but now it shows that there's a requirement of the taxi drivers and the taxis. That shows that there is a requirement. There's a huge number of increase in the tourism. So that's a good sign.
The taxis are very efficient in Abu Dhabi, and in fact, with the figure of 8,000 is about the same amount of cabs that are in Dubai, with about half the population.
Yeah, that's quite surprised me also, because I'm based in Abu Dhabi, and I find the taxi system is very, very efficient in Abu Dhabi. The reason why, the distance is very short, and there's no traffic. I mean, okay, there is traffic, but it's not like blockage or congestions. So that's a great part of Abu Dhabi. That's what you get when you live in Abu Dhabi.
And very good value for money, I think, the taxis are in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, and they don't have that requirement for like 10 dirham limit thing. That's first, and then second is the distance is shorter, so you don't have to pay for 50 dirham or 60 dirham, 70 dirham unless you travel outside the city or you go to Dubai. If you're traveling within Abu Dhabi, it just costs you 11 dirham, 10 dirham, 8 dirham, and it's reasonable.
And it's only going to get better with the announcement that 2,000 more cabbies are on the way in Abu Dhabi. We're looking through the morning's papers. It's 11:15 here on This Morning on Abu Dhabi Classic FM. Caiyad Phahad is helping me out to do that. We were talking about how you were basically thrust into hosting an event in front of 3,000 people. From that, you obviously got the bug or the adrenaline rush, and that helped you change what you did in your life. You're now, you're a director, you're a host, you're a filmmaker, a project manager, a marketing professional, so many things that you do. Let's talk first of all about the fact that you set up your own company.
See, the company came, the idea came long back, because the reason why I had to take that step, because the thing is that especially when you are creative, you always need to do something which you love to do, and in the market, which is very saturated, and there are a lot of people doing the same thing, and there's a lot of competition, you won't get to do what you want to do. So I was struggling initially to do what I wanted to do. I tried a lot. I went to a lot of people, a lot of auditions, a lot of rejections, a lot of issues. So I was nervous. I was upset. I was disgusted by the fact that what's happening in this industry, and how I will make my way, because I'm not a typical model-looking type of a guy who just walk in anywhere and people say, "Wow, I want to have him." So I just have to always prove it with my talent or. And with my projects or with my work. So I decided one day that it's too much of it, and I have to do something. A lot of people have suggested me that it's better to have something of your own. So it will always help you to make your way, because then people also, and the perception also change. Because when you just go as just like you want to do something in the market. So people just like treat you just an actor, you just a model, or just just came for a casting and all that. But when you go as a CEO of a company, or when you go as an owner of a company, then there's a different treatment altogether which you get. So the perception also change from the people's side, and it's I guess I made a good choice by getting into this.
But you've obviously got to have something in yourself in terms of self-belief, because the industry you've chosen is very cutthroat. A lot of people want to do it. A lot of people will strive and backstab to get to the top. So you obviously have to have some inner belief that what you think is happening is the way forward. You've got to believe in what you're doing yourself.
That's the thing which you always need to have in any field, regardless of you getting into the media. But if you're getting into any industry, be it finance or education, politics, you need to believe in yourself. Like you really can do it. If you don't believe it, you can't do it. That's the thing I believe in. Because if you want to do something in life, and if you don't believe in it, you can't do it. It's just like you're selling something, and you yourself, the person who's selling, he doesn't even believe that what he's selling, he won't be able to sell. So even if you selling a plastic and you showing it as an iron, you need to believe that this is an iron which you're selling, and then you can make people believe in. So that's the thing I always believed in. As you mentioned, it's a cutthroat market. There's a huge competition, and the worst part is that your friends, the people who are close to you, they will do a lot of politics for you, and you don't even know. So like your co-actors, your co-workers play a lot of big politics with you, and then you believe that he's my friend, you believe he's my best friend, and you thinking that he's going to get me a project, but imagine that he gets someone else that project, and you're still waiting for it.
Or he's doing it himself.
He's doing it himself. So if he's afraid of you, he probably won't do it himself, but he'll definitely give it to someone else and say that, okay, no, the agent has chosen someone else. And that's happened to me a lot. And the disrespect and the people not paying on time, miscommitments, is this is the industry forte. I mean, everyone is expert in it. Like, the delay in payments and regardless of how good you are at your work, there will always be complaints. Oh, you haven't done that. Oh, you haven't done it this way. Oh, the client is not happy. Oh, you used these things, or you said those words. Oh, yes, but you never told me not to use these words. So you should have told me. Is there any contract? And the worst part is that people doesn't do contracts there. People are so afraid to sign papers, and that's killing. And and even I, how much I want to try to do a paperwork, I end up doing nothing, because then people are not interested in doing paperwork. They say, "Oh, we know you, boss. Come on, let's do and work." Do we have to do a paperwork? We've been working for 5 years and all that. So it's been a crazy industry, not just Dubai in particular, but same thing I face in different countries.
It's the same around the world, isn't it? It's like everyone's happy to use your services, but then when it gets down to paying, then excuses come up from nowhere. It's amazing. You picked out a story from 7 Days Day, looking at the entertainment at the Formula One Grand Prix, Yas Island. A lot of focus on the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix this year because of the double points that are going to be on offer on Formula One. It could be that the title is decided in Abu Dhabi. Obviously, apart from the race, there's lots of entertainment that goes on across the weekend, big events in Yas Island, and the announcement of one of is it an Arab Idol artist?
Yeah. It's Mohammad Asaf, actually, and he's a wonderful talent, and Abu Dhabi has always been a great host for the race, and I wonder how they manage such a big event. There are big companies who was involved, 2454, Abu Dhabi Media Company. All big companies are involved, and I've personally attended these events, and it's amazingly well managed events, and it's very hard to believe. They at the same time they're doing 4 or 5 activities at the same time. Something happening at the beach, something happening at the Yas Island, something happening at the Yas circuit. So and a lot of crowd turns up, and the best part is that most of the events are free to enter. And bringing such big artists, it's always a big task. So Mohammad Asaf, though, is a young talent. He's an Arab Idol, but then they are getting Carol Sama, and I heard that she's very big. So I'm also excited, looking forward to it, of course.
Flash Entertainment do a fantastic job of providing the entertainment around the Formula One Grand Prix itself.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much done with the papers. Caiyad Phahad, you've been helping me out with the papers this morning. Any projects that you can tell us on air that you're working on at the moment, or is everything kind of secretive?
No, of course. We don't work in a secretive way. We're not a secret agency. We're entertainment, and we love to disclose our projects. And I have a horror movie, actually, which is in pipeline. As in pipeline, in a sense that we are speaking to a few investors on it, because of course it's a film, and it's a full cinema film, so we can't do it in a short budget. So we are looking for investors for it, and the script is almost ready. Everything is ready. It's just like that one thing I'm looking forward for, because it's a big project for me as well, and the big project for people who are going to be involved in. Another one is a World Music Festival, which I have designed. It's finalized from my side, but again it needs investment, and we are talking to a lot of investors these days for that project, and that's the reason I'm here also, here as in the Dubai to speak to a few people on this. So it's a big project, because that's a World Music Festival. It happened, a couple of companies have done it in Dubai, but then they call it a World Music Festival, but it's actually not a World Music Festival, because they get artists from a couple of places and they say it's a World Music Festival. To me, World Music Festival is like, at least you get people from 8, 10, 11, 12 countries, or as much as you can. So that's the plan for this. So these are 2 big projects I'm working on. And there's another charity project which I've just designed on the paper. So yes, soon we'll be launching that, and that will be basically to help all sort of people. So I've seen charities who are actually working for particular cause, which could be heart disease, or which could be lung disease, or which could be cancer, or any other thing. But this charity is just to help people up. So whatever you need and whatever we can do, we would love to do. And it's not limited to UAE or any other country. It's just worldwide. So that's a plan I have. I hope that I get some support from you and from people on it, and hopefully it will work.
All right. So how can people get in touch with you to find out more?
They can Facebook. I frequently use Facebook and Instagram. Actually, everywhere my spelling is very different, but the name is very common. So the name is Caiyad Phahad, and the spelling is Caiyad Phahad. So if they look for me on Google, they'll find me on LinkedIn. They will find me on Facebook. They'll find me on Twitter, Instagram. Everywhere. They can even write to me at CP, which is Charlie Papa at CAIYADPHAHAD.com. So that's my email address, CP at CAIYADPHAHAD.com.
All right, we've got the World Cup on the way tonight. Are you a football fan?
Not really. I'm a football fan limited to the PlayStations, and the team I play with is always Croatia. And today's Croatia's game, so I'm a bit excited, and I hope they will win. It's slight chance. People are putting their money on Brazil, but it's me who's I guess I'm the only one in the whole world who's going for Croatia, except including Croatia.
Why did you choose Croatia?
It's just like, I don't know which year was that, but somewhere 96, I guess, when they played so good. I guess they reached to semi-final. That's the first time, I guess, I saw them playing, and I got really excited the way they played the game. And then from that particular moment, another reason that I never go for the majority. So whenever I see people are going for Brazil, Germany, Spain, I say, okay, let's do something different. Because the thing is that this has to be someone on the opposite side, right? So there has to be opposition. So I always love to be on that side, and and I enjoy that particular thing, because I know that they may lose and they may not make it to the final, but the cheer I get, the happiness I get, just to play around with my friends that Croatia will win, or just to tease them, it's fun.
All right, well, good luck tonight with Croatia against Brazil. It's the opening match of the World Cup tonight. Very much looking forward to it. If you're not interested in football, apologies for the next month that's going to happen here. Caiyad Phahad, thank you very much again for people. How can